Alrighty. So, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the MissJudged podcast. I'm your host, Alyssa. If you don't know, because you should know, it's at MissJudged podcast everywhere you find us. I am joined today by the fab, the amazing Sabrina Bendori.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
I said your name right?
Yes.
Okay.
You got it. Nailed it.
I feel like it's my villain origin story because everyone always says my name wrong. So I make like such an attempt at everyone's name.
Right. No, you got it.
Well, tell everybody who you are. We want to know everything about you. Obviously, I know.
Okay.
But for those who don't know, what do you do and who are you?
Sure. Hi. I am an author. I am a relationship and confidence coach. I have been writing about relationships, helping people with their relationships forever, since 2010. So I'm like the OG here. I started when I was really young because I was just trying to make sense out of all the heartbreak I was experiencing, and there was no resources. So I started writing about it, which turned into a blog, and that's what I do. Help people with their relationships.
I love that. So I am so happy to have you here for this episode because I had a very toxic breakup a few months back, and I filmed a solo breakup episode 2 days later. And I did it twice. It was so feral. I was like, I don't think I can release this ever. It's like, it feels like angry, So I was like, I need to do the breakup ep. But I need to do it a little bit later, I think. And I want to do it with the right guest. So I have been waiting with bated breath for this topic. Okay. So guys, today we're gonna talk about breakups, how to do them, how to move on, and we're gonna talk about, are you allowed to be toxic or not? Because we're gonna go through it.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
So okay, for those who don't know, you wrote a book called Detached.
Yes.
So that's why I was like, we've gotta do the breakup ep with you.
Yeah, this is my area. This is my arena.
Okay, so all right, what we're going to do is first we're going to talk about how to break up with somebody in a short-term relationship. Because I think people really, and by the way, you can curse on here.
Okay.
Absolutely fuck up.
Yeah.
With short versus long. I feel like sometimes people are agonizing over these short-term breakups, and it's it was 2 months. Sometimes we can get caught in the love bombing thing and we're maybe in love. But in a short-term relationship, say you've been dating and you haven't even said I love you yet. Mm-hmm. What is the appropriate way to break up?
I mean, I think that it's always nice to do it in person. I know that that's really hard. You don't want to look somebody in the face when you care about them. I think a phone call could be appropriate. Ideally, do it in person. I think that it's best to keep it short and unemotional, because then you just get sucked into this whole, you're explaining yourself and he's trying to poke holes and you're like, well, I don't really feel like we're a match. And he's like, what are you talking about? Of course we're a match and we're so aligned. You don't want that. You have to be sure of what your decision is. You have to, you can be warm, but just keep it short, keep it to the point. But yeah, in person is obviously the nicer way to go. But most of us would rather kind of choose the cowardly route and send a text because we don't want to have to deal with it.
I mean, here's the thing. Because wait, how long have you been married?
10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you guys meet?
We met in high school, actually. But
shit.
So we dated in high school. He ended it with me. I was a senior in high school and he was a freshman in college, and he wanted to be a freshman in college. And I was a bored senior and I just wanted a boyfriend. So he ended it. I was devastated. I was obsessed with him. I thought about it all the time. To this day, I can quote conversations that we had back then because he's like, what is wrong with you? He's like, do you have photographic memory? I'm like, no, because I was so devastated. I replayed it, everything over and over and over in my head. So then we parted ways. Every few years, we would run into each other. I would get my hopes up. I would think, okay, now's the time. He's going to ask me out again. We always had such strong chemistry. Never happened. Then decade goes by and I experienced this whole transformation within myself. I talk about this in the book, actually. This is the prologue of my book. I went from being just a very needy, desperate girl to a very evolved woman who really understood my self-worth. I call this period the summer of me. And just so happened around that time, he all of a sudden started looking at me differently. And then he asked me out and here we are, 10 kids and 10 kids, 10 years and 4 kids later. Gosh.
Oh my God. I'm like,
mom brain. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Ugh, I think you could handle 10 kids. So you went from anxious and he was maybe secure, a little avoidant?
He definitely has a secure attachment style. Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough, he was kind of pretty avoidant with the girls that he dated before me. I think that it could just be that it wasn't a match, that it wasn't aligned, that he just had stuff he needed to work on within himself.
Yeah.
But he definitely has a secure attachment style. I had a disorganized attachment style, actually.
Oh, girl, me too.
Which is the most chaotic. Oh. I mean, we're the most special because we're the most crazy.
You know what? I'm going to touch on that for a second because I feel like a lot of people out there don't know that disorganized attachment is actually one of the things because everybody just talks about anxious avoidant. Like, hello. Disorganized is actually what it's called when you have an anxious attachment and an avoidant attachment at the same time, which means you are super fucked up. And honestly, I've like, studied at the church, okay? And I was so toxic. Like there are so many men out there probably hurting women to this day because I was
same
menace.
Yeah. The way I phrase it is I was definitely the villain in their origin story, the one that broke them and then they broke everyone else. Because the problem with disorganized attachment style is that it's a feeling of I'm not safe alone and I'm not safe with somebody else. Mm-hmm. So there's lack of safety anywhere. So you don't want to be alone. You want to find someone. But then when the relationship gets too close, you panic and you pull away. Yeah. And that's why it's called disorganized because it's chaos. It's completely chaotic.
It's and you're like hot and cold. You're like a little bipolar. Well, not bipolar. Yeah. Let's not overuse that word, guys.
Right.
But it can feel like that to somebody who's going through it. Like they're on the other end, just like, what day is this going to be?
Right. And as soon as they pull away, you go close, then they come back and then you start to pull away. So that was a huge problem for me. For a long time, I was just like, what is wrong with me? Why am I so obsessed with these guys who are so emotionally unavailable or emotionally damaged? And I take them on as projects and I'm trying to fix them and heal them. And the guys that are so healthy and would just love me, why can't I just let them? What is wrong with me that I can't just let them?
Because you know why, girl? Because we love the drama. Because I've never been like what are they called? The movies, the like rom-coms. I've never been a rom-com girl. But I feel like we were all raised to think like romance is like, they like literally go away and we have to chase or they have to chase us and prove they love us. And like, it's actually super fucking toxic. And we've been like raised to think that this is how love is. And so when we're adults and we're dealing with it, we're like, so if he really loved me, he would show up at my door and just confess his love for me. And what really happens is they never talk to you again.
Right.
And then you're like showing up at their door like, what the fuck? Like, and that's toxic and chaotic and disorganized attachment.
Yeah. And I mean, with disorganized attachment, it really goes back to those early childhood wounds. And a lot of it is the stories that we've told ourselves, about who we are, about what relationships are supposed to be like. And a lot of us feel like relationships are something that we have to earn, that it's very much conditional. Mm-hmm. If I tailor my behavior a certain way, then he'll pick me, then he'll choose me. When that's not—
It's a line from the book, guys.
That's just not the foundation for a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And in terms of attachment style, it's funny to joke that like we're disorganized, we're so chaotic and crazy. It can be managed, but it's not something that just resolves itself. And it doesn't resolve just because you found the perfect partner. Not at all. I easily could have sabotaged my relationship with my husband. And I almost did several times.
Oh, we've all done that. Because you know why the secure relationship is so boring sometimes. It's like so safe that you're just like, today I choose violence.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what your nervous system is used to. If all you've known is chaos, if all you've known is inconsistency, then that sense of safety, that lack of drama, that lack of, anything to stress over feels weird. And this is where women will imagine having the ick, or where they'll say there's no spark, or where they'll feel like there must be something wrong with him. Because if we don't have a high opinion of ourselves, then it's going to be impossible to believe that a guy can actually like us and genuinely want us for who we are. We're going to think that there's something wrong with him.
I'm going to tell you guys, you only get the ick when you're with somebody who wasn't checking your boxes at all, and you felt a disconnect with mentally and emotionally anyways. And that's how the ick gets in. When I've been with a partner and like, okay, my partner right now, he wore the craziest thing that I have not stopped making fun of him. And he was wearing sweats, gray sweats, and no shirt, which, you know, that's every woman's dream, right? Around the house. And then he's like, I'm cold. Some women on the internet say that's an ick.
When a guy's
when
cold?
a man is cold. But like then he put on a jacket that was a choice. And it was like a cargo jacket with like a furry inside. I don't even know where he got it. I've never seen anything like this on a man. And I was like, you literally look like a lesbian woman. And I don't know if I'll be able to like ever be intimate with you again if you continue to wear this in my presence. With the no shirt and the sweats, it was just quite the look. It's funny. I didn't get the ick from that because this is like a secure partner who's like filling me up in all the ways. But it's like, it's just funny. There are some women out there, like there's this toxic algorithm going on social media where it's like the second he does something that's a little bit weird or whatever, it's the ick and like run away. And it's like what that actually is you just already weren't into this person 100%. And now you're looking for an excuse to be done.
So I think it's both. I do think that there is a biological function to the ick. I think the ick warns us when something is amiss.
True.
But I also think that women get like the ick over things that are not that icky. It's just that she feels scared. For example, I remember vividly on my third date with my husband, you know, our first date was like 7 hours long. It was crazy. It was super intense. And things kind of just really went off to a roaring start right out the gate. And it was our third date. And I remember he was like very serious. He was in like a serious mood. And he wasn't talking that much. Like I felt like I was carrying the conversation more. And in my head, I was spiraling. I was like, why is he so serious? I don't like this. I don't know if I could be with someone like this. And he kind of like you know, like his mind can kind of go down dark paths sometimes. And like, I don't know. He's just kind of like that, which is like funny, but sometimes annoying. But I was like, I don't know if I can handle this. I need somebody lighter. And like, I'm completely spiraling in my mind. But I realized the problem was actually that it was all just going a little too well. I felt I would always feel like if there's a silence, it means I'm not being interesting enough. I think that was just kind of something that I was internalizing about me. And I would feel this need to fill every silence. But sometimes I realized sometimes it's nice for silence to just exist. But anyway, I was kind of getting the ick and picking him apart. Because I'd never been in a relationship that was reciprocal like that before. It was always either a guy aggressively chasing me and pursuing me and me being like, I don't know, or me really wanting a guy who was like, I don't know if I want a relationship. We'll kind of pick guys apart over things that are not big deals. Now, the ick matters when it comes to values. When, like, if, for instance, if a guy's really rude to the waiter or the waitress and you get the ick, okay, that's totally valid because that's very telling about his character and his values. But if it's, you know, my husband had like slept on a mattress on the floor and had plastic furniture when we were dating. And I know some women would get the ick from that. I did not. Like, I did not see that as something that was a deal breaker. I'm like, obviously, we're not going to live like this when we, you know, move in together. We're going to have real furniture and a real bed. But if it's something like, oh, I got the ick over his taste of music, that's actually not a big deal. What is it that's really going on? If it's something more value-based, then okay, that's something that we want to pay attention to.
I think, okay, so I got the ick when I was engaged. And shout out to him because he's a great guy. And I don't ever want to shit on him too much because like obviously we didn't work out for reasons, but like he is a good guy. And we're very cool. But, and he'll probably remember this if he hears this, we were not already working out, you know? And so it was not going well. And like I'm a wedding planner and I didn't even plan the wedding. So like that's
you're a wedding
planner?
Oh.
Yeah. I own a wedding planning company. Shout out to Alenado Events.
Oh, cool.
And so like it wasn't working out for months and months and months. And I am a loyal, ride or die girl. Once I'm like in love with you, I am like so loyal. And so when I wasn't working out, it took me a long time to come to that conclusion. But there was one night where he was scolding me about like a fork in the sink.
Okay.
I'm not even like someone who leaves things piled in the sink. Sometimes it takes me like 20 minutes to put it in the dishwasher.
Right.
And he came out of the kitchen. You guys, you want to watch this on the YouTube to see this right now? By the way, we're no longer putting the video on Spotify, just YouTube. Okay, so he comes out of the kitchen and he was looking at me and he was like, you didn't put, and he put his hands on his hips and he looked like Marge Simpson for like 30 seconds. And I was just like, huh? Like, I can't marry this person.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about that. You know
no,
what I mean?
it
Like,
was a buildup of other things. And then that was just kind of your breaking point
like,
where you were like, that. Sometimes you
get
to
man with
that.
his hands on his hips, though, is
that's
quite the look.
No, that's horrifying. That's horrible. That's terrible.
This is horrifying. Like my mom, you know, like, ugh.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was, mixed with a lot of other things. I digress. Right. Anyways, back to breakups. Okay. I can really drive around the parking lot, but I always find the spot, guys. The ADHD is very real.
Yeah.
So, okay, we've talked about a short-term breakup. I personally think I have done the text. I think a phone call is fine too.
I think so too.
Yeah, you don't always have to meet in person,
right?
Unless it was a situation where you were, look, if you were like love bombing the shit out of somebody and telling them you love them and they were like falling for that, maybe you should do it in person. Like if you were being a menace to society.
Yes.
I think you should sit down with them for 5 minutes at a coffee shop. Public, I love.
Or if you want to get your stuff back, then you can do it in person. Yeah. Like, you know, just tie up all the loose ends, just do it all at once.
Well, so, I guess I would say in a short-term relationship, like, I've sacrificed things. So it's usually like a little deodorant, like a toothbrush.
Right.
But like in a long-term relationship, which let's get into the long-term breakup. Like, okay, here's the scenario. Let's do this first. First long-term scenario is you're like, millennials, when you get to a certain age, every relationship is serious. Like, you know what I mean? You're dating someone for 8 months. You guys don't live together, but you've met parents. You are in love. You have like a drawer, maybe like a whole drawer. What are we doing with the breakup?
Oh, that you have to do in person.
Right? 1,000%.
1,000%. Yes.
How do we feel about someone just texting, we need to talk? Like Thursday and it's like Monday.
That's cruel. Like why
right?
do that to someone? No, you don't need to do a we need to talk and send somebody spiraling. Whenever we need to talk is never good news. So
it's never good news.
Why do that to somebody? No.
Dude, I think that's the meanest thing ever. And I've had people do that to me. I've had friends do that to partners and I'm like, yo, first of all, I'm showing up at your door. I said this in a previous podcast.
Yeah.
Like, don't play with me. I'm Italian. Like, I'm rolling up. But like, also, I will get nothing done.
Right. Exactly. It reminds me, like, sometimes my mom will call and if I can't answer the phone, she'll text me, call me. And I'm like, oh my God, who died?
Oh my God.
Don't say call me. Like, tell me what is it? And then I'll be like, I'll call her. She's like, what gift can I get the kids? And I'm just like,
something moms do this. They're so guilty.
Yeah.
My friend texted me the other day, urgent, call me now. I was like in Zooms. I'm like freaking out. It was about a wedding dress.
Oh, no.
I was like, I literally like almost hung up on her. I was like, I have 5 minutes. Like I'm done now.
You can't do that to someone. You can't leave that space for them to think that there's some sort of emergency, like an actual emergency. I know it feels like a wedding dress can feel like an emergency, but like actual emergency.
Look, ladies, as a professional wedding planner, don't do that shit. Okay. I thought her baby was dead. Right. Like, I'm like, what is this text? Urgent! Like 75 exclamation marks. I'm like, is the baby okay? Right. Like, are we still getting married? Like, that's the text you send when you break the engagement. You know?
Exactly. So like the we need to talk in advance. No good. Here's the thing. Like if it's a long-term relationship, it's 8 months already. Usually if it's not working, both people are pretty aware of it. It doesn't typically, unless—
Oh, I hate the people that say, oh, I was blindsided.
Right. Okay. Sometimes I suppose that can happen. And especially if you're with somebody who is extremely toxic and maybe they were cheating on you and you had no idea and you were blindsided by that. I guess that can happen. A lot of the time, if a relationship isn't working, you both know it. It's just a matter of one person decides, you know what, I just can't, it's not worth the fight for me anymore before the other person. And so maybe that's where they felt blindsided. They thought maybe this person wanted to work on it some more. But I don't think you should send a "we need to talk." I think that it just next time, like usually you're thinking about these things for a while before you actually go ahead and do it. So I think that you're thinking about it. You need to make the decision what you want to do. It's not really fair to your partner to like leave them in this purgatory of you know, the partner can feel it when you're on the fence and just do it. Next time you see each other, have the talk and yeah.
I mean, so here's the thing. I was in a 10-month relationship once and we went on a vacation. It went, oh my, like everyone knows from previous episodes, I love to travel with a partner. I'm a travel queen. If there's only been 2 vacations my whole literal life with a partner that have been an absolute dumpster fire, rolling down a hill, crashing into another dumpster fire. And this was one of them. And it was a situation where we had this horrendous situation and like a very bad fight. We were on a trip. And basically what it was his friends became very involved in our relationship. And they kind of like created issues between us, which like Saka, honestly, like pussy moves for men. I'm sorry. Don't let your friends sabotage your relationships. Like who are you laying in bed next to at night? That's just a crazy way to act for a man in his 40s. But anyways, I digress. We had a big fight. And then while we were there, we sorted it out and we left on like great terms, I thought. Like, well, not great terms, but we left where it was like, we had this thing, we overcame it and we're good. And then we came back and the energy was a little bit weird. And then I got a text that was like, still thinking about it. And I'm like, okay, so this was like 8 days later. Like we had this situation, we've sorted it out. You came back and now you're just sitting with your thoughts, marinating and talking to your friends about, you know, their thoughts and stuff like that. And it's just like.
It's very female behavior, by the way.
Everyone that met him asked me if he was gay. Like, guys, I'm telling you, I've walked so you guys can run.
Right.
Truly, I've been with people. But yeah, it was just such weird behavior to me that I immediately was like turned off. I'm like, the problem solving skills have left the building. We're like looking to our friends to be our therapists. Like, this is like very toxic, childlike behavior. But I thought that the text about like, I'm just rethinking, it's like, that was such pussy behavior to me that the breakup was super inevitable after that. Like immediately.
So how long after did you wait until you broke up with him?
I posted up 2 days later because he did the whole like, I just need time before we can talk thing. And I'm like, we're in a serious relationship for 10 months. You're in your mid 40s.
Right.
I'm in my late 30s. I am not going to sit here on your timetable and just, we're going to have a real chat today.
Yeah.
Post it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Like truly.
That's how you have to do it.
Ladies, we're being too nice. It's not crazy when you're in a relationship to be like, no, my feelings matter too. And you're not going to keep me in this weird state of like, what's going on? You owe me an actual conversation or we'll just be done.
Right.
Like we don't need a conversation for closure, right?
No, I don't think so. I'm not big into the like closure conversations. I think that fine, you can have one conversation. This isn't working. This is why. But then that's it. And most women are not satisfied with whatever they hear. Same with guys. Like this can go both ways. They're not satisfied with what they hear in that conversation. And when they say, oh, we need to meet up one more time for closure, they don't really want closure. They want another chance to plead their case and get the relationship back on track.
1,000? Okay, so in this scenario where we didn't live together, I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts. I think you do the in-person. Yeah. If they are like avoiding that, you show up. Fucking show up. Yeah. First of all, I showed up, you know why? Because I had like an entire wardrobe there.
Oh, and no, you can't sacrifice that.
Yeah, he had like 3 things at my house. I'm like, I am collecting my stuff.
Right.
I will, girls and guys and gays, always show up if you're the one with the most things so that you can pack it up. You don't want anybody packing up your stuff because
he's going to miss half of it. And
straight men are missing it. And guess what? Every straight man's house I've been at, I'm in the bathroom and I'm finding the relics from the last relationship when I'm like looking for more toilet paper.
Oh my gosh, I've never had that experience, but wow, that's something.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. One time I had a man give me my stuff back and there were 2 pair of underwear that were not mine.
Oh, ew.
And I was like, what the I freaked out.
Yeah.
I was like, who's in here? I was like, I found them behind the dresser drawer. I'm like, they did look a little dusty. But like, yeah, so like you show up, you collect your things.
Yeah.
You have the like, it doesn't. One time I tried to break up with somebody and it was an 8-hour situation where we need to stop and go get pizza because we were hungry.
Oh God. No.
Just make it 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It's just not helpful to make it an all-day event. I had one breakup like that. And it was, I mean, he was breaking up with me. So of course I didn't want it to end. I was like, yeah, let's like keep going. Cause I didn't want it to be over. And I thought maybe in the course of the conversation, maybe he would suddenly realize that he made a mistake and take it back. Yeah, and we had this whole day and he was crying and I was crying and we're sad. And it just made it even harder trying to move on after that.
Yeah. Oh, we've all been there. I feel like you haven't really lived life until you've been the one pleading your case at one point in your life.
What a miserable feeling. It's the worst. It's awful.
Oh God, I wish I could go back in time and slap the shit out of myself repetitively in certain situations. Like there was one man where right before I broke up with, or he broke up with me. Oh my gosh. He broke up with me. We'd been together for 2 years. It was like the are we getting married situation. Yeah. I was in my late 20s, I was about to be 30. I was like freaking out.
Oh my gosh. I remember the almost 30 freak outs. Oh my God.
We need to hurry up and do this. And like he was working late, guys, the YouTube, check it out. My hand signals, I'm using air quotes. He's working late. He's working on a deal to solidify our future. And he can't even talk to me. He got to focus on work. He's like, I can't even wash my laundry. I have so much laundry. I have no underwear. My house is a mess. I'm just working so much. I'm like, I had a key to his house. I go over there when he's all, I just need to focus on work for a week. Like basically ghost me for a week. So I had a key, show up. Ladies.
Oh no.
Don't ever do this. I cleaned his house.
You cleaned
I did all his laundry, like 4 loads.
Right.
Cooked him dinner. He never came home till 1 a.m. It was a Wednesday. He never came home till 1 a.m. Drunk with stamps down his wrist. Pissed at me for being there. Why are you here? Needless to say, obviously, we broke up a few days later.
Oh my God.
I had to try to, by the way, never have a conversation with a drunk person. So I just let it go that night. But turns out he had been actively cheating on me for like 2 months. Everybody that we knew. And I cleaned the house and did the laundry, the crusty underwear of a man who was actively, at that moment, cheating on me. And I don't want to go back in time and beat myself up.
See, if this was a healthy relationship, what you did was actually like a really nice thing. But obviously this guy was extremely toxic and and I'm sure that wasn't the first time that you kind of sold yourself out or sold yourself short and for the sake of being chosen by a guy of getting him to see you and to love you more and that's what really erodes our self-esteem, but it also keeps us more attached when we're doing all this stuff for a guy. It makes us care about him more and it makes him take advantage of us and treat us like a doormat.
Well, this was when I was in my disorganized phase of life, guys. I'm a secure girly now. Occasionally I'll bring out a little bit of toxic behavior, just, keep it spicy. Okay, so like when we're living with somebody, we got to have an action plan, right? Like if you know you want to break up with somebody and you live together, should you go kind of look at places? Like, how are we doing this?
That is messy. It's
so
messy. That's a really, really tough one. You definitely need a plan.
Yeah.
Or you need to plan for the fact that it might just be uncomfortable for a little while. First of all, like, why do you have to leave? Just because the relationship's ending?
Well, I think it depends on the lease situation.
I guess it depends on the lease. Also, was it your apartment that he moved into?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Did you move into his apartment? Did you guys find an apartment together that was like your shared apartment? Because if you were living there first and he moved in, like he should be the one to leave and vice versa. I think that you need a plan. Either go stay with your family if you have family nearby. Go stay with a friend. Maybe he needs to sleep on the couch or if you have a spare bedroom while you guys sort things out. I mean, I've seen all forms of variations of this situation with my clients. There typically is a period where you're still living together, but you're not together anymore and you're just sleeping in different spaces and you have an awkward month where you both need to figure out what's the next move and what, but like definitely make sure you can afford a place on your own.
Yeah.
Line up if you need roommates, find some roommates. Definitely have some sort of a plan.
Well, so I'll tell you guys, when I lived with my ex, and we broke up, I mean, he immediately went out and looked at an apartment because it was my apartment.
Right.
Let's make clear.
Right.
You're leaving. But it was like very nice. Like we didn't, because I guess there was no cheating and it was just like a situation where we both were like, this just is not working.
Mm-hmm.
We were super amenable. Like I don't think when you live together, even if someone cheats on you, just be detached, be unbothered about it, be mature. Sometimes you have to be in each other's presence. Like we lived together for a full month. I was going on dates and come home and sleep next to him. Like I was just over it. Like, I mean, we hadn't been intimate forever. Like it was just a situation where I was like, I don't care. And he didn't care either. But, I do think that I was respectful about it. Like I never told him like, I'm going to go on a date with this hot man now.
Yeah.
But, there was a little bit of uncomfortableness. I think that you should make an active plan to get out as soon as you can, though. And I've heard and been out with people. I was out on a date once with a man who was like, yeah, I still live with my ex-wife. And I'm like, so you went fully divorced.
Yeah.
And still live together. And he's all, well, it's an expensive. You know what? Don't be dating.
Yeah.
Don't be dating if you're in a messy ass situation like that. But also like have a plan.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I mean, look, there's going to be temporary, like a temporary period of discomfort. That's fine. Yeah. You'll get through it. But you need to have an action plan for that you're moving towards to get out of the discomfort and move on with your life.
So here's my thing. When you have friends and you break up, sometimes you've been together for a long time.
Yeah.
And the friends are all intermeshed. What are we doing in a breakup with friends? Because let me tell you, I've stolen a few people. I've gotten them in the breakup for sure.
I mean, this is a tough one. Who gets custody of the friends? I think part of it is who was friends with the friends before. Are these people that you met once you guys were a couple, or is it people that you were friends with that he became friends with? Mm-hmm. I think that, look, if you want to get over a breakup, you want to get through it, you have to detach on all levels. And that means you can't keep seeing this person. And I have so many clients who are in this, their ex is still in their orbit in some capacity. And so she's moving on, she's feeling good. And then she hears like, oh, he's gone on 5 dates with this girl. It's getting serious. And now she's distraught. She's in the depths of despair. Just for the sake of you and your sanity, I think that you have to remove yourself from that situation. Hopefully you have other friends you can hang out with that are not mutuals. For the time being though, like you do need to temporarily distance yourself from anything or even if you are still going to hang out with those mutual friends, be clear with them. Please don't tell me about him. Mm-hmm. Don't update me. Don't tell me what you saw on his Instagram. Like I'm trying to move on. And I guess if you're the one that broke up with him, like you won't be as bothered. But if he's the one that broke up with you and you're not over it, you don't need to hear this shit. Like you don't need to hear it. It's just going to make it harder for you to move on.
Even when I've broken up with people, I don't care about them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
maybe you like wish them well. Like, if you broke up with him, maybe you're like, no, I hope he finds someone. I hope he's happy.
Yeah. Well, the first stage of breaking up is you're going to be sad.
Right.
And you're going to be angry sometimes. Mm-hmm. I mean, and you're going to be like, I hate him or I hate her or whatever. That means you're still in love. The level of indifference is the detachment.
Exactly.
You got to hit that level of like, like someone tells you they're married, you're like, oh, that's good, whatever.
Yeah, like good for
you're
them.
Like, I mean, I'm not saying good for them sometimes. I'm like, oh, well, that's a choice. That doesn't mean I hate them. It just means I don't give a shit.
Right.
Like, I don't have to be happy for you. I'm not going to send you cutlery,
Yeah.
But I also don't care.
Right.
Like, one time I spiraled because I couldn't believe somebody beat me. I was like, how dare you?
Right.
But it wasn't about the person.
Yeah.
It was like about the situation. But I have been in situations where my friends were mutuals.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just don't want to hear about this person. And it's not because it's going to send me in a spiral.
Right.
It's just because why do I need to be updated about somebody that is no longer in my life?
Right, exactly. And for most people, it's going to cause some sort of a reaction. And you're trying to detach, which means anytime you hear about him and it taps into something, even if you hear, oh, he's in a serious relationship, that might make you feel like, well, why did he find someone? Why didn't I find someone? And this isn't fair. And why is he moving on? Am I going to end up alone? Or maybe I shouldn't have broken up with him. Or maybe, it might just send you down a bad path.
Yeah.
And we want to avoid that because the more you are thinking about him, the more you are you are strengthening those neural pathways that are keeping you still attached to him. So the way to separate that and to break that is to not hear about him, not be in contact with him, stay away from the mutuals, and really focus on yourself and focus on your own life and doing your own thing and creating a life for yourself in which that is completely possible. Meaning if you have to block him, block him. If you need to use your work phone instead of your regular phone and create a Finsta account so that you're only following I had a client actually do this, only following inspirational accounts, maybe you need to do that. If you do whatever it is that you need to do to make it so that you're protecting yourself, your life, your peace, and you're making it impenetrable so that he can't get in there until you're in a place where you feel emotionally regulated, you feel clear, and you feel like, okay, I can handle seeing people that we're mutual friends with. And if his name comes up, it's really not gonna have an effect on me. But we're not robots, and you can't just flip a switch and get to that place. Like it's gonna take some time to get there.
Okay. So like, my gosh, I have so much to touch on, guys. Like okay. So I agree. And I think that men suffer a bit more in silence with this. And I think it's harder I think there are some people where it's like they're hard to distance because that's like truly their only friend group. And I've had friends men and women that were like, I can't cut these people off. It's like my best friends. We were together for 7 years. It's like basically that's like a marriage, whatever, like, and I think a lot of people cannot absolutely cut off. And there is always going to be that level. Like I have a very close girlfriend who was in a very long-term relationship with a man who never wanted to get married to her. And she had to finally cut it. Still to this day, they'll like go in on gifts together and like talk all the time. And I know she's like holding a candle for him. I know
that's a horrible idea.
And
terrible idea.
I told her so many times, I'm like, we need to not. And like we have mutuals that tell me stuff and I'm like, we're never sharing this. Like, this is not ever being shared because this will fuck her up. Like, even everyone's always lying to me, being like, I'm over it. I'm this. I'm like, okay. This is the one thing, guys. If you have a friend who's like an intuitive friend, you cannot lie to them. Like, you just can't. Like, we know. Yeah. And we'll go along with it. We'll be like, okay, girl, I see you. Whatever. I support this journey.
Not me. I don't go along with these things.
I always say my piece. But look, I've had interventions with friends where they're like, Alyssa, we get it. I need some like gentleness, right? And I'm like, okay, so I'll give you, what do you want today? You want some support? I'll give it to you. All right. Well, like do the delulu. Like, but I do that with men too. My male friends are a little bit more delulu than my female friends.
That is like, absolutely true sometimes.
They're like, she's still in love with me. She's married. I'm like, okay, honey, how do I tell you she doesn't want you?
Right.
Like, at all. I know that you think you're God's gift, but she's moved on.
Right.
So what are we allowed to do after the breakup and not allowed to do? Because this is so highly debated. And I've listened to the Mel Robbins, views on this. I listened to a bunch of other breakup pods. I had so many thoughts. I disagree with like 90% of the things.
Interesting. Yes. Okay. Well, when you say what are we allowed to do mean like what should we be doing to get over the breakup?
So yes. So like behaviors, right? Are we ever texting them again afterwards? Are we blocking on Insta? Mm-hmm. Are we deleting all the photos like they never existed?
Okay. So the first thing we're doing, which is pretty, I feel like universally supported by all the coaches out there, is you do need to go through a period of no contact. This does not mean you never contact them ever again.
Yeah.
After a breakup, your nervous system is pretty dysregulated because that person has come to represent safety, security, love, support. And without them, you feel lost, you feel empty. And it's very hard to re-regulate yourself when there's still a presence in your life that keeps you tethered. It keeps you on the line. It keeps you hoping. I wrote in the book about like the hope hook, where sometimes we just keep ourselves almost like intentionally shackled to this person because we're not ready to face what it means to let them go and to have to actually move on. And sometimes those feelings of missing and longing and the hurt, that's all we have left. And so we'll hold on to it because once we let go of it, that means that it's gone. That means that it's over and we have to move on. It could be that you were holding on to the potential of who they could be if only they got it together, if only he overcame his avoidant attachment style or whatever it is. You need some time and space to, I mean, only if they're really, really committed and going to therapy, but that takes a lot of work. It's not something that you can just like snap your fingers and it's gone.
Yeah, and he's not going to do better for the next girl.
Exactly. So you need to go through a period of no contact, getting back to yourself. The no contact phase is not about, oh, I have to wait X amount of days and then I can get back in touch and maybe he'll miss me enough or whatever it is. It is a time for you to rediscover yourself and to rediscover who you are outside of this relationship and what you want. And what did this person show me about myself? And what did this person show me about what I want in a relationship and what I don't want and what is good for me and what's not good for me? So it's a time to take that inventory. So I think that, yes, that's an absolute must. Now, there's a lot of extras that can come with the no contact period. I mean, do you want to completely block them on social? I would say that's wise. Look, looking at their profile doesn't count as contact, but every time you check, you're giving yourself that hit of dopamine. You're again reinforcing that connection. So you're just making it harder for yourself to see clearly. So I would say it probably is a good idea to block, to mute. In terms of the pictures, no, maybe you don't want to throw them away forever. I mean, I have pictures with my exes and I kind of like revisit, like, oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that version of me who didn't know any better. I don't think you need to burn all the pictures, but I would recommend putting them somewhere that's like inaccessible to you. So if it's on your phone, maybe put them on an external hard drive and like take the hard drive and pack up all the gifts he got you and anything that reminds you of him and just put it in a box that is somewhere that that is not easily accessible to you. I think all of this is really important in terms of I don't think that you need all these closure conversations. You're never gonna get an answer that makes you feel completely resolved, that makes you feel good about yourself, but also gives you enough space to detach from this person. Because if he says something that makes you feel really good, you're going to be like, well, then why can't we just be together if you feel all these good things about me? If he says negative things about you, you're going to feel like, well, why wasn't I good enough? And this is what I need to fix. There's really nothing that he can say that's going to make you feel like, okay, I can move on now. I have perfect clarity.
Yeah.
The clarity comes from you. Closure is a decision. It's not a conversation. Closure is deciding it's done. It's over.
Yeah.
And I'm moving forward with my life. So I think that is a general rule book, I mean, the general guide for what to do after a breakup. And you really need to focus on creating an incredible life for yourself.
I mean, I will say, like, throwing yourself into the glow up, like we talked about with Roma, is definitely something you need to be doing. However, here's where I differ from the norm, okay? Because I feel like we're in a world where everyone is being told that they have to be insanely healthy all the time and like just super grown about everything. And I think it's okay to be a little toxic in a breakup sometimes. Like, get it out. Get it
like
out
what?
system.
Like in what way?
Okay, so here, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
And by the way, I've never felt better after this.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so, in a healthy breakup, you're not actually mad. You're kind of more like sad, which is way harder because you're like, one time I was with somebody, we genuinely loved each other, and he just was like, I can't give you a life with children. Like, I just can't.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's like so hard because you're like, nobody technically did anything wrong.
Right.
And this person was good to me. So it was like more sad, and it was harder to disconnect from that person. And in that situation, I did end up having to finally like just block him. And I unblock him. He's unblocked. Okay. But we will never speak again because guys, the universe will never put somebody back in your life that's not meant to be there.
I totally agree with that.
And if you chase it, you can try to fuck with that. But like when you don't, they'll never come back. And I've never seen him. We live like super close to each other. So that was maybe what I needed to do in that scenario. However, what I disagree with is like deleting photos from social media and acting like that person literally meant nothing to you and died.
No, I don't think
that's super fucking toxic.
Not necessary. Yeah.
I think it's so petty. I think going through your phone, and I take so many photos when I'm like on trips with people. I don't have the time to go through my phone and delete thousands of photos.
No, and those are memories. And those are memories, and they're not going to be so charged at a later point in time.
It's the only thing sometimes like Apple will do this thing where it's like, remember that time you were really fucking happy, bitch?
Oh God, yeah.
And like, I will be like, Apple, fuck you. But like, I'm not going to take time out of my life to give the pettiness any attention.
Right.
Okay, I get a pic, whatever. So I think that's weird when people do that. But I will say, if you are in a relationship and it ended and somebody was disrespectful to you in the ending and just hurtful, it like doesn't need to be that way. So whenever someone's done that, and this is my thing, guys, people will always come back around when they have a bad situation with the next person. They will always come back, because when you leave like, oh, you know what? I'm just not going to let this affect me. They do. Like, they will come back and mess up with your fucking peace and try to mess with your next relationship. So I do think it's highly appropriate to send someone a text, tell them to absolutely go F out of here. And I sent that text to my last ex. Gotta say, I felt amazing afterwards. It was the closure I needed for myself. Like, it was amazing. I was like, don't ever fucking talk to me again. You're literally dead to me. And we're done here.
Yeah.
And he's probably seeing that text like, she's psychotic, like good decisions were made, you know, like, but in my sense, I'm like, I know this man. I know he's going to try to come back into my life like they have all done. And this is me closing the door. I'm not going to block him because I don't need to. This text did that for me.
Right.
I don't ever want to hear from him. I won't ever hear from him. But I sometimes think it is okay to be human and have that emotion of like, fuck you, you're never coming back into my life. And like, you know, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you.
Yeah, I think that that's totally fine. It's just a matter of protecting your peace. Meaning, I had a final, you know, exchange like that with an ex. He was extremely toxic, very narcissistic. And I don't use that word flippantly. Like that word has gravitas to me.
It does to me too. And I think we only need to be using it for people that are true narcissists.
Exactly. And it's just way, way, way overused. Not every guy that's a jerk, not every guy that's avoidant is a narcissist.
Yeah,
not every toxic person is a narcissist, but every narcissist is toxic. So he had cheated on me and the whole relationship was splashed all over social media. And I just couldn't wrap my head around it. And I was very young at the time. So I would call him and be like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you doing this to me? You're acting like I never meant anything. And he was just ice cold. And he was like, well, what can I tell you? It is what it is. And I just snapped and I was seeing red.
Yeah.
And all the things I'd wanted to say to him that were like playing in my head on loop, you know,
it
all exploded out of me. And it felt so good. So good. But there's a risk of having that explosion and it feeling really bad and you regretting it and you tossing and turning. So like say what you want to say your piece and then be done with it. Make sure it's what you want to say. Because I had been thinking of that speech in my head for like a month.
Yeah.
There are other times where you might say things and you're just like, I wish I hadn't given my power away like that. Or I wish I hadn't shown my hand like that. I wish I didn't say that. So that's where you need to pay attention.
Yeah.
But I absolutely agree. Just giving it to him can feel really, really good.
See, I couldn't be a celebrity because a crisis PR firm would hate to see me coming. Because they'd be like, you got to say sorry for like freaking out. And I'd be like, no, I said it, period, end of sentence.
Right.
And honestly, like I have to say, anytime I have a bullshit threshold that is quite intense. If I've ever freaked out on you, you had that thing coming for months.
Right.
So like, I don't apologize. And honestly, I feel like we as a society, I'm not saying everybody needs to be absolutely feral and be throwing up, you know, middle fingers and be rude. But I do think that some people need to be occasionally told they're an asshole. And I think our society would be better off.
Right.
There's a few people in this world that probably should have been punched in the face and they wouldn't be acting like this.
That is a very valid point.
So like, you know, as a society, I think we're being a little too polite sometimes, especially in a breakup. Like it's emotional. You are allowed to be human.
Right.
Here's my thing. If you do send that spicy text or phone call, that's it.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to keep doing it.
Yeah, no. That's like that was it. That felt very resolute to me. I was done. I was able to just like close the book on it. Obviously, it took a very long time to get over that situation. It was actually pretty traumatic.
But did it feel good?
If that, giving it to him like that felt amazing. And honestly, like that's one of the moments in time where like if I want to feel powerful, I'll revisit that memory because I felt so powerful and so good in that moment.
Yeah.
So I'm absolutely fine with that. Again, the focus post breakup is on what is best for me, not how can I get him back? How can I win him over? How can I make him see? No, it is what is best for me? What's going to make me feel good? What's going to make me feel back in touch with my power? There's no more disempowering feeling than being broken up with. Even if you were the one that broke up with him, like a lot of the times, you broke up with him, but you did it because he wouldn't commit or he was wishy-washy or his behavior or he wasn't stepping up. And so, fine. You were the one to break up, but it's still just as devastating. You broke up because he could never love you in the way that you wanted him to, in the way that you hoped he would. And it's a very disempowering feeling. So you need to focus on what is going to make me feel empowered. How am I going to charge my batteries? The focus cannot be on him anymore and what he wants. It has to be on you.
Oh man, guys, this is for the guys and the girls because I think a lot of men also need help with breaking up.
Oh my gosh,
they
yes.
need the most help.
That's what guys, that's the only thing guys come to me with. I mean, women will come to me with all sorts of different issues, a lot of times self-esteem and self-worth and attachment styles. With guys, it's always, she broke up with me, I'm devastated, I don't know what to do.
Oh God, they don't know. Okay, hot take. Men take way longer to get over a breakup.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's scientifically proven.
Way longer. I mean, okay, my current partner, I don't know, you're just gonna name names, was in a super long-term relationship.
Right.
They broke up and he took a year and some change to like heal. She's getting married.
Wow. It's because
like immediately.
I mean, we have to give guys.
By the way, I love her for that. Like,
that's good for her.
Literally good for her. 7 years and no ring. Girl, I could never.
Right.
Good for you. Get that ring.
Men really only enter the world of emotional disclosure later in life when they start having relationships with women. They're not, in boyhood, they're not sitting around talking about their thoughts and their feelings.
Yeah.
Men have a much harder time processing emotions. There's a stigma about it. Boys don't cry, be a man, whatever it is. So that's why studies have found that post-breakup, women suffer more and immediately after, but they get over it faster. A lot of men don't heal.
Give me 8 days.
Yeah.
And a fiery text if you did me dirty. I'm serious. This last relationship, we were together almost a year. It was such a stupid breakup that it made me just absolutely lose all respect for him. I'm like, what? I don't think anyone ever is a waste of time.
Right.
But I did feel maybe my time had a little bit been wasted in a certain respect. Because I'm quite clear with what I want and what I'm feeling. And I hate when people kind of don't, when they're not honest.
Right.
And 8 days. I'm going to tell you right, guys, here's my thing about breakups. This was toxic. This worked out. This is going to be crazy to say. I went on a date literally the night we broke up.
Oh my God.
I came home.
That's hardcore. Wow.
Here's the thing. Here's my biggest rule for breakups. I feel like this goes for men and women. Distractions are helpful.
Yeah.
Do not go and be hooking up with everybody and be unsafe and whatever. But I think it is completely acceptable to be like, I don't want to be home.
Right.
I would rather be out and have an adventure and maybe have a fun experience with somebody and just be a little distracted.
Yes, that is helpful to an extent, but we just want to make sure that we're not completely numbing out and avoiding the feelings and trying to outrun a rain cloud because you can't do it. It's always going to catch up with you.
Oh, no, it did.
So a little distraction is good. I mean, I've worked with women who feel like have panic attacks if they don't have plans for a weekend and have to just be on their own because they can't handle
I know.
They can't handle the silence. So
foster a dog.
Distract. Yeah. Oh, sure. That's one option. So distraction is good, but you also have to process your emotions because the only way to get through it is you have to go through it. You can't go around it. You have to feel it and it sucks. And there's no way to make it suck less. Breakups are horrible. They are brutal. I mean, I gave birth. My last baby was almost 10 pounds and I didn't have time for an epidural. And I will take that pain over the pain of a breakup any day.
My God, that sounds like a 3rd degree terror.
It actually wasn't.
Oh, my Lord. You know what? But yeah, I think being distracted is the key though. It doesn't mean you have to be feral like Alyssa and go on a date that night.
Right.
I will say though, great time. And it reminded me there are great people out there.
Yeah.
And good people that are interesting and it kind of reminded me I'm a little cute, I think, because this attractive person is telling me I'm pretty. I'm like, this is what I kind of want. It was a little bit, I need a little validation right now.
Right.
But I didn't do that every night. I went out with friends. I threw myself into work. I threw that body into the gym, guys. The distraction is real. I do think you should always be distracted when you're grieving a relationship.
Yeah.
I fostered a dog once, which was a great experience. And quite frankly, when you foster a puppy, guys, highly recommend. You can't even sit and wallow, okay? You got to give puppy cuddles. You got to, oh my God, not there. Don't pee there.
Well, that brings up a really important point. This is definitely advice that I give to people going through a breakup. Be a giver. Either volunteer or foster a puppy or whatever it is. You have to get back in touch with your value and your sense of, I have something to offer. I have something to give. I have so much love to give. So that's important. But yes, distraction, yes, but also we do need to feel the feelings. You have to acknowledge them. And you have to realize it's okay to feel what I'm feeling and just let it pass through you. Because with emotions, if you fight against them, they're just going to nestle into your body. Your body doesn't forget. The body keeps the score. And they'll stay there and then they'll get activated at the most inopportune time.
Oh, yeah.
If you just let yourself feel an emotion, so you identify it, I feel sad. Okay, then you understand it. It makes sense that I feel sad because this person was important to me and I thought that this was going to last. And then you just allow it. I allow myself to feel sad and I will not judge myself for having the feeling. Then it's going to be like a wave. It will peak and then it will crash and then it will be gone, as opposed to just fighting against it and not wanting to face those uncomfortable feelings.
Well, I think here's the thing. I think breakups aren't linear. You're like, you're like, so when you're going through this, like me, like, I mean, I can be good for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And then a random thing can like remind me of something. And I'm like, I'm not going to sit at home and cry. Some people might do that. I'm a little bit less of a sensitive person, I feel like, than the average. My boyfriend made me take a test that said I was 99th percentile psychopath, which
what?
Fucking crazy, but honestly not surprised. But like, sometimes I'll remember stuff and I'll be like, ugh, whatever. That's such a, like, that was a bummer. Like, that could have been great, you idiot. Like, y'all fucked it up. But I did go to a baby shower when I was super raw. It was like, it was like 4 days after a devastating breakup.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go support my friend, but like, I couldn't be telling anyone in that room like, oh my God, I want to literally not be here right now.
Right.
And they're like, thank God we found each other and found love and we're having our beautiful baby and our miracle child. We're so in love. We brought this baby into the world with love. And I'm like, oh my God, kill me right now.
Yeah.
Why the fuck am I here?
That's pretty brutal.
Literally so brutal.
Yeah.
But like, you got to just kind of go through it. It's going to be rough. Like, and that day sucked for me.
Yeah.
But like, I'm supporting my friends. And like, now it's funny when I look back because I'm like, oh man, I was in the depths before that baby came out. Like, guys, I just like didn't want to hear about it sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think that it's okay to not be perfect and to like, if you accidentally crack, you watch the story, don't let it like, don't beat yourself up about it.
Right.
Like you're human. I think that we're just getting conditioned to be too perfect about it. And like,
yeah.
But some people are going off the deep end. Like I feel like if you're the type of person that needs to block somebody on social media because you're going to like be obsessing, you might need to just be off social media entirely for like 4 weeks.
I mean, I feel like that would be helpful for all of us. Social media it's a lot. Ugh. It's a lot because it's not even just about seeing him. You're seeing all these other happy couples. You're seeing other people getting engaged and have babies. And it's a lot. And again, it just
every influencer is pregnant right now.
Oh, yes. I think I've seen that.
They're like getting married and pregnant all at the same time.
I know. It's a lot. And again, it just goes back to you need to look at yourself and ask, what is it that's best for me right now? Like, truly, what is it? What's best for me?
Yeah. You know what? Go to a spa. Go on a trip.
Yeah.
Book that flight.
Trips are great. Trips are medicine.
Literally, like, all I do when I'm upset is travel. Okay. Yeah. So, like, the second that I broke up, I was in Napa. It was like, girls trip. We're going to drink wine.
Right. Right.
Like, let's go. Get your girls and go have that drink. No, I'm just kidding. But like, truly just go do things, be distracted. Okay, tell me if you agree with this rule as well. This goes for everyone, men and women. 2 things I think you should buy. New sheets.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Bedding in general.
Agree.
Underwear.
New underwear.
New underwear.
All new underwear.
All new underwear.
Interesting. What's the reasoning?
You never feel hotter than when you're wearing a spicy new underwear.
Oh, definitely.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, wait. I thought you were saying like throw out your other underwear.
Oh, I mean, if you wanted to.
Oh, definitely buy new underwear.
If you were in a 2-year relationship, throw all that away and get new. Okay, guys, men need to get new underwear more often.
Oh, that is true. They will wear it until it is down to the last thread.
It's $30, guys. Okay, you can get more. And I promise you, women want to see, the next woman you date want to see that crispy new underwear. They want to see the old underwear that you wore in your 5-year relationship with holes.
I'm also a proponent of like reorganizing your room. Maybe put your bed in a new spot because you just have so many memories of it being that way with him. Yeah. So I think as much as you can like feng shui or move things around, just you need a new energy. You need to like breathe some new life into the space.
If anyone's ever been in my bathroom, my friends will hear this and laugh. I literally have a Sephora in there. And I literally took a Saturday to declutter my bathroom.
Oh, that's always the best feeling.
Clean out my closets, like change over. I don't know if everyone does this, but I'm in New York. When it's a new season, I got to change over my clothes that are like under my bed.
Right. Oh, I remember those days. Living in the city with the under the bed clothes.
Yeah, they're like in ottomans strategically, like in the closet up top. Yeah. So you got to change, just throw yourself into stuff like that.
Yeah.
Start a new company, make that money.
Yes. Again, being empowered, and anything like cleansing is good. Getting rid of old stuff, even doing like an audit through your closet. It just restores a feeling of order and control. And a breakup can make you feel very out of control. You had expectations and it didn't go the way you wanted. So yes, I definitely agree with all of that.
Okay, we're going to play a quick game before we go.
Fun. Okay.
It's going to be called, this is the breakup dating game.
Okay.
Toxic or healed? Just answer telling me, yes, it's toxic, or this person's healed.
Okay.
Muting their stories.
Healed.
Okay. Not asking if we're going to get back together.
Not asking that.
Yeah.
That's healed.
Okay. Leaving the second they say they're not ready for the next step.
Leaving the second that's good. Healed.
Healed. Not blocking an ex.
Not blocking an ex.
Yeah.
So I think that's a personal decision. So I think healed.
Doing relationship benefits without relationship commitment.
Toxic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Toxic.
Okay. And I have one more. Strategically leaving things in their house so that you have to go back.
I mean,
George Costanza.
Toxic. I get it. I've done it. I'm not judging.
Yeah. Is it, okay, well, my final question is it acceptable in the new relationship to still talk to your ex in the previous relationship?
No. Toxic.
I need to send this to so many men.
Right.
They love to have that open door policy.
No.
We're not coming back, guys.
There's rare exceptions. I mean, I worked with my ex, that narcissist that I told you about.
Love that.
We worked together for a really long time. But by that point, he was so... I was a whole new version of myself that like, it was like, because I was a new version of myself, it was like, it didn't even feel like he was an ex because he was so distant. But obviously I had to talk to him because of our business. And my husband didn't care because he knew what a lunatic that guy really was. So unless like he has kids with his ex and they need to coordinate like logistics.
Guys, pets don't count. I'm going to fucking die on that cliff.
Yeah. You
Stop
should not be sharing custody. No shared pet custody. Unless you have living children that you're sharing custody of. No, he should not be talking to his ex. There's no reason.
What if it was the anniversary of a cat death?
No, toxic. Toxic.
People really find the craziest reasons to keep in touch with their
exes. They don't find anything.
It's so funny and
my God, it's National Avocado Day. Got to text him. He loves his avocados. Like, no, you don't.
Remember that one time we put an animal to death together?
I know.
Like, what the fuck are we doing, guys?
No, you have to like be honest with yourself. What am I really doing here? I'm not ready to let go of this connection, and I'm trying to keep it alive. And I'm grasping at any straws that I can hang on to.
Is it okay to continue talking to an ex and not disclose that you're in a new relationship?
No, toxic.
No, guys. You heard it here first. Okay, Sabrina, I am so happy that you came because the breakup up, we just needed to do it. You guys, if you're going through it, please just do me a favor and go to a comedy show and laugh because laughter helps everything. Mm-hmm. Do not sit at home and wallow. And if you got to do it for a day. Try to get out the house the next day. Please. Just don't, sit in the cocoon of shame, honestly.
I fully agree. Be there for yourself.
Yeah.
Offer yourself radical self-compassion. And remember that this too shall pass.
Yeah. And the next one will be hotter and richer. What? No, I'm just kidding. So where can we find you, Sabrina?
You can find me at Sabrina Bendori on all platforms, on YouTube, on Instagram. My podcast is You Will Be Okay. And my book is Detached, How to Let Go, Heal, and Become Irresistible. And you can get it on Amazon or Shop Catalog or wherever you get your books.
Guys, you know what? Thanks for following. Don't forget to tell your friends, tell your enemies, like, subscribe, and subscribe on YouTube, please, at MissJudged Podcast. Bye, guys.